his name is Harper. He was an actor at one point. Now he's running for senator. He is currently in an interview on The Breakfast Club with this person here, Shalimar, right? And DJ somebody or another. So I'm trying to get to a point where he literally makes no sense to say that he is supporting Kamala Harris, who he's friends with. They worked together on Obama's campaign. This is what he said during this interview. And when you listen to what, maybe it's like 3 minutes of it. This is the length of it, but I'm not going to play all of it. He's supporting her, but then the reason he should not be supporting Vice President Harris-Emhoff is for the very thing that he says right now.
A U.S. Senate of people that have been bought. And this is real. They've been bought by DOD contractors. They've been bought by Big Pharma. They've been bought. And they make decisions based off that, not decisions in support of the people's best interest. And that's what people have to realize. Don't check out because of that. Lean in because of that. Take it back because of that. And that's the energy that's happening. If we give up.
So let me go back a little further. Because I believe it was right. Maybe let me go back to 19. See if it was there. I don't believe it was this far away, but.
And an activist can grab a Senate seat. It's unprecedented, the opportunity we have. It's just hard to convince people to move.
Have you asked, I know you and President Obama are real close friends.
Yeah.
Have you asked him to endorse you yet?
Yeah. He said that he would not endorse. He thinks it's not right for a former president to endorse in an open, in-party race, right? So there's a primary, an open primary. He's like, you win it, obviously I'll come in and endorse you against a Republican person. Now, at the end of the day, he's always done what is the right thing, because that's actually the proper thing to do.
It is not. It is nonsense. If you support a candidate in the primary, that is the person that you want to go through in the general against the opposing party. That is nonsense.
When I say this stuff is a matter of life or death, it's not hyperbole. It's not exaggeration. No knock warrants. Having a national database for police who cycle to pick up another seat the next cycle. From a national perspective, there's a question about two crucial things in this country. Number one, confirming lifetime appointments of federal judges. We see how that affects us down the line. And number two, deciding how your money gets spent.
It's not glorified.
This is it.
People don't talk about the Senate as much as they talk about being president, or talk about vice president, or talk about even some of the other things. It's just not glorified.
The president doesn't control the money.
Right.
You know, my grandmama used to say, if you want to know someone's priorities, if you want to know an institution or a person's priorities, see how they spend their money. And that's what it is. Mark Pocan and Barbara Lee put forth a bill called People Over the Pentagon. It was a $100 billion reduction in Pentagon spending. You know, we have people in office that keep rubber stamping the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA. Listen. 2% raises, 3%. All of that doing is fattening the pockets of Department of Defense contractors. We virtually have a U.S. Senate of people that have been bought. And this is real. They've been bought by your money.
I want you to listen to what he's saying and see how that's relevant to why he should not be voting for Vice President Kamala Harris, nor anyone else.
It's not glorified. People don't talk about the Senate as much as they talk about being president, or talk about vice president, or talk about even some of the other things. It's just not glorified.
The president doesn't control the money.
Right.
You know, my grandmama used to say, if you want to know someone's priorities, if you want to know an institution or a person's priorities, see how they spend their money. And
who has Vice President Kamala Harris been spending her money on? What bills did she put forward? Money for Israel to continue slaughtering Palestinians, money for Asians, right? That's what she's been doing. No money for Black, white Americans. No money for Spanish Americans. No money for Puerto Ricans, right? Okay.
And that's what it is. Mark Pocan and Barbara Lee put forth a bill called People Over the Pentagon. It was a $100 billion reduction in Pentagon spending. You know, we have people in office that keep rubber stamping the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA. 2% raises, 3%. All of that doing is fattening the pockets of Department of Defense contractors. We virtually have a U.S. Senate of people who have been bought. And this is real. They've been bought by DOD contractors. They've been bought by Big Pharma. They've been bought. And they make decisions based off that, not decisions in support of the people's best interest. And that's what people have to realize. Don't check out because of that. Lean in because of that. Take it.
So then why are you leaning in to a candidate who does exactly what you said? You don't think that Emhoff and even Trump and Schumer, the turtle dove man, I can't think of, is it Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, you don't think that the Democrats and the Republicans are silent partners in those DOD, Department of Defense contracts that they keep approving? And then they select who will sit on what committee. They select who will be elected in the primaries. That's why you can't get elected in the primaries. That's why Obama would not endorse you for the primary. And you stand here on this show, or you sit here on the show and you say, I'm going to support Vice President Kamala Harris for president. All this stuff about her being black when we know she's not, it's the same thing that they used to do when they said Trump's going to get rid of democracy. It's to put us in fear and to get us arguing against each other, the voting public, so we never select anyone else. This is Hill Harper, the actor, running for president running for a Senate. I think he said Minnesota, Chicago, or wherever he's from. And if a person can rationalize just what he said, why is it that he can't put two and two together to see that the Democrats and the Republicans that have a stronghold on this country are doing exactly what he just said? And you are supporting the person on the Democrat side, and the Republicans are supporting the person on the Republican side for president who is not going to change this. Okay, I'm running for president of the United States. I will change this. This is why Trump wanted immunity. This is why he wanted the judges to say, if I make a decision in my official capacity as president, I don't want to be prosecuted. He's not going to make decisions in his official capacity for the people of America, for the Americans or the immigrants who came here the correct way, the legal way. He is not, nor is Kamala. But okay, I'm going to get finished registering to see if I can register. Right now, I need people to sign for me to be an elector in Texas. So let's see if people in Texas, at least 15 of them, will sign the paperwork to say that they want me to run for president as a write-in candidate. We'll see. Because that's what I need. If not, then I can't be a write-in candidate in Texas. And in Texas, your representatives are literally letting the illegal migrants come in and register, get a residence, and then register to vote. Have a good day. This is what I'm trying to prevent.